Number 4. Here we go, number 4. Also relates to number 3. You ready? Be calm. Some of you practice meditation. I don't. I probably should. But you need to stay calm. You see, many moons ago, I'll tell you a quick story. Many moons ago, we're talking 20 years ago, I got investigated by the VAT office, the Value Added Tax Office in the UK. Now, this was quite a serious investigation, i.e. it would have, had they proven to be right, it would have taken away everything I had completely that I owned at that time, which was probably several £100,000 worth of stuff and houses, along with, you know, I had mortgages on a couple of houses back then, so they would have even had to repossess houses and mortgages. Now, at this time I had a bridging loan with the bank. It was about 50,000. And the bank manager actually came to my house. I was in bed one morning, I had a knock at the door, and my wife at the time said, "Hey Lee, the bank manager's here." I'm like, "What? The bank manager?" So I get out of bed in my pants, as I do, put on my dressing gown, walk downstairs in my beautiful home at the time, sat down on the sofa, and he began to talk. Now, as he began to talk, he got word that I was having a VAT investigation. Now, if you don't know or do know, with VAT, you don't have any length of time to pay. They say, you owe this much, and we want the money now. Show me the money. Yeah, anyway, we've done that. So here we go. What do you do? Well, I listened to him, and as he was talking, he could see that I was having absolutely no reaction. Number 1, I just got up, I hadn't had my breakfast yet. Number 2 was I really had gone way beyond whatever he'd imagined anyway. And the stuff I was about to lose, well, I started with nothing. I can go back to nothing and make it all again. But needless to say, he started to get more and more agitated and hop around on my couch. Literally, from one side of the couch, he was bouncing around to the other. And he said, "Come on, Lee, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you have to foreclose? We have this outstanding debt with the bank. What's going to happen? How are you going to cope? What are you going to do with your family?" And I quietly and patiently, and I must have been, wow, at least 25 at the time, and this guy was in his 40s. I said, "You know, sir, you know what I'm not going to do?" He said, "What?" I said, "I'm not going to act like you. Because if we act like you, or I act like you, we are fucked. I stand to lose hundreds of thousands of pounds. You'll lose 50 max, and I'll probably still get to pay you back. So I said, if I act like you and jump around and panic in this time, I will lose everything. I have to stay calm. Now you need to pick your ass up, get off my sofa, and go back to the bank and worry about somebody else. Because you don't need to worry about me. I'll be just fine. I'm in control of this thing. I'll get it handled." Lo and behold, we beat the VAT. We had a massive VAT investigation. At the time, by the way, just to give you an idea of numbers, 20 years ago, I think the VAT threshold was about 50 or 60,000 pounds. I'm not saying we were breaking the VAT threshold. We were breaking it every single month in turnover. So it was a lot of money they were going after, and I was in big trouble. But back to your point. Point number 4 is you stay calm at all times. Remember, be a leader. You are destined to be a leader. You are designed to be a leader. This is your role. This is who you are. Leaders stand up. Stand up and be calm and maintain control in times of crisis. And that's what you need to do right now for your students. Step 4, stay calm and lead like the leader I know you are. Number 5. Okay, number 5. Serious, how crazy, I'm still having fun, and believe me, this situation here has been interesting. I'm just going to call it interesting. There's a new line for you. How's the situation? How's this going for you? Oh, well, it's really interesting at the moment. Very much of a growing time. So, number 5 is you abide by the rules. I mean, literally abide by the rules. So what does that mean? Well, a few weeks ago, they announced in the United States that you could have 500 people in a meeting room. And they recently cut it down to 50 people in a meeting room, which UFC adapted to that and had some closed door quarters if you watch or follow UFC. And then more recently, they've gone down to 10 members in a room, which is quite frankly ridiculous. Some of you have families bigger than that in your household, so how are they going to control that? But needless to say, that's what I'm saying. Commercially, you can't have no more than 5 people. In whichever state that you're in or whatever guidelines you're in, I recommend that you follow those guidelines. I don't want to see you in jail, because then of course there'll be nobody teaching at your school. So follow the guidelines, but, and here's the but, you have to be able to make sure you get clarity on those guidelines. For example, if they say you can only have 10 people in the room, including instructors, then guess what? If you're the only instructor in the room, you can have 9 students in the room. Or if there's 2 instructors, you and an assistant or your program director, you can have 8 students in the room. Well, that's 8 more than closed. Oh, come on, Master Charles, I can't make any money with 8 students in the room. Correct. You can, but you know what you can do? Well, you can if you charge them a lot of money each, but what you can do, done that before, what you can do is this, is you can show your student base that you are calm, you are in control, you are a leader, you are unafraid of the coronavirus. You will beat this thing. We will beat this thing together by being smart, by not overreacting, by not causing mass hysteria and panic. That's what you will do. So follow the guidelines. If they say 10 people, you say, that is fantastic. That's great. Thank you very much. We will abide by your guidelines. Oh, so you're not going to close? Sir, I'm going to follow the guidelines you have laid out for me. So am I understanding this correctly? I can only have a maximum of 10 people in class. Yes or no? Oh, well, yeah, that's the guideline. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations. If it changes, please come back and let me know. Have a nice day. Happy Corona Day. And move on. So abide by the guidelines, but make sure you are clear and take advantage of that. Saw a post the other day with somebody that was shutting their school down for a week, but then they had a children's like midterm or children's summer holiday week break, but of course they were limited to 25 students. So on the post, I'm not sure if they did it deliberately, but they created a sense of urgency. They created a sense of, well, we only have 25 places, that's all we actually can legally have in the building. So please register early for our next program. Does that work? Maybe. I thought it was quite smart. I'm not even sure that the people who actually posted the video realized how clever that was, but I thought it was a great way to take advantage of the situation and prove your leadership and show people to be calm. Now listen, I don't know the answers. I'm not a doctor, do I? I'm not a doctor, do I? I'm not a doctor, am I? So, case in point here, I just look at the numbers and what's being posted. Something else to think about, something to think about. 10 or 15 years ago, if this would have happened in China, there would have been no fuss at all. No social media, remember? 15 years ago? 20 years ago, definitely no social media. Nothing would have happened. Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have even known. Oh, that's that thing in China. Oh, there's a few cases here and there. Social media is your best friend, but also sometimes your worst enemy. That's why it's your job to go back through these first 5 points and make sure that you are doing everything you can to number 1. Here's what you got to do is don't shut down. Number 2, you have to post positive things in your martial arts fraternity, whatever it is, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you have to do. What's number 3? You know what number 3 is? Number 3, stop talking about it. Just stumm. People bring it up, change topic. People bring something else up, change topic. Keep reverting back to your martial arts style and your system and the programs that you have to offer. Number 4, be calm and lead. Be calm and lead like the leader I know you to be. That's why you've gained a black belt. That's why you set up your own business, so you have the balls to do it. So stand up and be calm and lead. And lastly, of course, abide by the restrictions. But remember to ask for details of those restrictions and stick to them. And you may be able to take advantage of the fact that there is scarcity. There is only a few people that you can fit into class. And then of course, you can do lots of other things that we'll cover in the next 5 tips. So we'll have a total of 10 tips of what you can do during this incredible, interesting situation. That's all from me, Lee Charles, the Martial Arts Success Guy from martialartsmastery.com, wishing you sincerely every success and encouraging you to keep training, keep smiling, and keep signing those students up. We'll see you on the very next video. Take care.